We scraped over 10,000 buy calls across 10 of the biggest stock YouTubers. 3 full years of recommendations, every pick timestamped, every entry price locked on the day the video went up. Every call tracked to today's price. Out of 10 creators, only 3 averaged better per call than the index. 3. One of them averaged 144% per buy call. Another hit 107%. The third came in around 85%. Everyone else would have made you less money than doing literally nothing. Now, there are some real caveats to that comparison, and I'm going to walk through them honestly, but the numbers are real, and I think by the end of this video you'll see stock YouTube very differently. Let's rank them bottom to top. Before we get into it, our last 2 videos on this topic did well. They also got destroyed in the comments. And look, some of that was deserved.
Good video concept, but I think you should double check the data and not trust AI so much.
I have never seen so much incorrect data and misinformation shared with so much confidence. Kinda weird to call this lazy shit a study.
Yeah, we heard you. And here's the thing. Some of you were right. Adreconomics had picks counted that came from other YouTubers he was quoting in reaction videos. And including a day trader alongside long-term investors was, in hindsight, just a bad call on our part. We knew it at the time, even put a disclaimer in the video, but still, fair criticism. So we rebuilt it again. The whole scraping process took 1 full week, and we spent almost $1,000 on cloud costs compiling and interpreting all of this data. It's humanly impossible. The AI model now detects whether the host personally recommended a ticker or whether a guest said it, or a viewer comment got read out loud, or they are just reacting to someone else's pick. Only the host's own buy calls count. Every call gets a confidence score you can filter on, and the full spreadsheet with clip URLs for every single call is in the description down below. And if something's still wrong, you can show us and we'll fix it. We dropped the day trader, we dropped channels with insufficient data, we added Jose Najarro, who was by far the most requested channel, and we extended the window to 3 full years, July 2023 through July 2026. Couple of honest limitations before we start. This tracks buy and hold to today. We don't capture when they sold. So if someone bought at $50, it went to $100, they sold at $100, and then it crashed to $20, our data shows the crash. That's not their actual trading P&L. It's what would have happened if you heard the call and you just held. Keep that in mind throughout. Also, the numbers aren't time adjusted. A pick from 2023 has had 3 years to run. A pick from last month has had weeks. More on that later. There's 10,848 buy calls. 10 channels. Let's go. Number 10, Daniel Pronk. 70 stocks, 413 buy calls, average return per call, 15.5%. Daniel's been on a roller coaster across these videos. Dead last in version 1, 4th in version 2, back to 10th here. I almost feel bad for the guy at this point. He's a quality compounder investor. Constellation Software, Fabrinet, Shopify, Fortinet, businesses he plans to hold for a decade. So judging him on 3 years is better than 5 months, but it's probably still not enough. His best early pick, Topicus, a Constellation Software spin-off, returned over 350%. Fabrinet up 198%. Fortinet up 166%. When Daniel identifies a compounder early, the returns are really good. But Adobe is down 64%. Intuit down 53%. Nice Systems down 52%. A bunch of his SaaS picks got crushed in the multiple compression and just never came back. 15.5% per call is well below the S&P. I'd genuinely like to revisit Daniel in another 3 years though. His style might just need more runway than any of these studies can give him. Number 9, Joseph Carlson. 98 stocks combined. 852 buy calls. Average return per call, 22.7%. People were loud about wanting Joseph Carlson, so we tracked both channels, main show and after hours, and combined them. His Intel call from August 2024 returned 579%, AMD up 400%, Applied Materials up 326%. Robinhood up 464% from the After Hours channel. When Joseph catches a turnaround story early, the numbers are massive. And then you flip the page. Duolingo down 70%, CoStar 62%, Adobe 57%, Inuit down 47%, Nike 44%. Real damage. But honestly, Joseph's whole thing is patience. Decade-long holds, steady compounding, 22.7% per call across 3 years is roughly tracking the market, and that's basically what he says he's trying to do. Whether you think that's a win or a loss kind of depends on why you're watching stock YouTube in the first place. Number 8, Sven Carlin, 125 stocks, 299 buy calls, and average return per call 30.8%. Sven keeps being the weird one on this list, and I mean that as a compliment. Intel up 356%, Interactive Brokers up 259%, Geo Group up 210%, Warner Bros 193%. These are value plays nobody else on YouTube was touching. But then FMC Corp down 79%, MicroStrategy down 53%. Here's why I keep coming back to Sven even though he's 8th. His picks have basically zero overlap with anyone else in this study. While the other 9 creators are all wrestling over the same 10 AI stocks, Sven is buying Turkish airports and Dutch chip equipment and UK bakeries. If you're trying to diversify where your ideas come from, his channel is probably the most useful on this list, regardless of ranking. That has to count for something. Number 7. Everything Money, 106 stocks, 707 buy calls, average return per call 30.9%. The systematic guys, they run every stock through their analyzer, they show the criteria, they're pretty transparent about their process, and the numbers are solid. Palantir up 554% from first call, Nvidia up 347%, Intel up 312%, GE up 270%, AMD up 246%. But Lululemon down 54%, Nike down 52%, Adobe down 59%. You'll notice this pattern keeps showing up across multiple channels: Nike, Lulu, Adobe, PayPal. These 4 names were basically quicksand for 3 years. Every creator who touched them got hurt. Meanwhile, semis and AI infrastructure ripped. We'll come back to that. Jerry Romine, 69 stocks, 354 buy calls. Average return per call 35.1%. Jerry's been top 3 or 4 in every version of this study. Every single one. Even at 6th here, which is lower than usual for him, the consistency is hard to ignore. Palantir up 395%. AMD up 353%. Nebius up 293%. Applied Materials up 282%, Broadcom up 220%. Silver ETF down 47%. Hecla Mining down 46%, HIMS down 45%, Bitcoin ETF down 40%. It's the same story every time we run this. Jerry's tech and AI infrastructure calls are genuinely strong. When he ventures into precious metals and mining, the results flip completely. At this point, I think Hecla Mining should just be renamed the Jerry Romine Anchor, because it drags his average down in every single version. If you only followed his tech picks, his average would be way higher. Something to think about. Number 5, financial education, Jeremy Lefebvre, 98 stocks, 1,556 buy calls, average return per call 51%. Alright, Jeremy, let me start with what the comments got right. AMD and Palantir are his signature calls, and the data confirms it in a way that I think settles any argument. AMD, 111 separate buy calls across 3 years. Average return per call plus 298%. His earliest entry was around $117 in August 2023. The stock's above $580 now. He was on this every single week, sometimes multiple times per video, hammering the table on AMD, and he was right. Completely undeniably right. Palantir, 58 buy calls. Average return per call plus 355%. Earliest entry at $15.50 in July 2023, now at $116. He held from basically single digits and kept telling people to buy through every dip and every period where the stock did nothing. Those two calls alone are honestly generational picks, the kind of calls that make careers. But, and this is important, Nike, 108 buy calls, average return minus 40%. He recommended Nike with nearly the same frequency as AMD all the way down. Now, I think right now might be a good point to buy Nike, but who knows, that's not this video. PayPal, 102 buy calls, average minus 30%. Elf Beauty, 107 buy calls, average minus 17%. Celsius, 65 buy calls, average minus 14%. So Jeremy has this very specific pattern. When he has conviction both ways. He'll pound the table on AMD 111 times while at 5x's, and he'll pound the table on Nike 108 times while it drops 40%. Same intensity, but obviously different outcomes. At 51% per call, the AMD and Palantir sized winners clearly outweigh the Nike and PayPal sized losers. Following Jeremy over 3 years made you money, real money, but you had to write the winners and the losers because he recommended both with the same energy. That's either conviction or stubbornness. And the line between those two things is basically just whether the stock goes up. Number 4, Chris Sainte, 171 stocks, 1,566 buy calls. Average return per call, 60.6%. Most stocks of anyone in this study, 171. Chris is always buying something. Palantir up 607%. AMD 478%. Nvidia 311%. Triple leveraged Nasdaq up 308%, Applied Digital 239%, but inverse Tesla ETF down 95%, some cannabis stocks down 89%, volatility fund down 87%, DJT stock down 81%. There's this split in Chris's portfolio that's basically a case study in sector selection. His semiconductor and industrial calls are genuinely excellent. Caterpillar up 168%, Taiwan Semi 184%, Western Digital up 187%. But the leveraged ETFs, the cannabis plays, the meme stocks, they crater every time. At 60.6% per call, he's below the S&P, but not by as much as you'd expect given how wild some of those misses are. The winners just keep winning hard enough to carry the portfolio. With 171 unique stocks though, you really need to be selective about which of Chris's calls you actually follow. Before we get to the final section, our top 3 winners. If you want to stay up to date on which stocks are getting recommended by YouTubers and other sources that mainstream media does not follow, like Reddit or X sentiment analysis, you can go to the first link in the description below and subscribe for free to our newsletter. We will send you top stock pick recommendations from all these trusted sources once a week. 3 creators beat the S&P's 3-year return of around 70% on a per call basis. Number 3, ticker symbol U, 45 stocks, 288 buy calls, average return per call 85.4%. The most concentrated portfolio on this list, only 45 unique stocks across 3 full years. Alex knows exactly what he's buying and he sticks to it. Micron up over 1000% from his earliest call. AMD up 414%. Palantir 370%, Taiwan Semi 359%, Marvel up 315%. His worst, Supermicro down about 70%, VSX down 62%. The concentration argument still holds. Alex is betting on AI infrastructure, and AI infrastructure has been the trade of the decade. The 85% average per call is the result of identifying a generational theme early and committing to it completely. Number 2, Couch Investor, 254 stocks, 2,850 buy calls, Average return per call, 107.3%. Most data of any creator in this study, 2,850 individual buy calls. Honestly, kind of staggering. Rocket Lab up 1,700%. That's not a typo. 1,700%. Micron up 893%. Robinhood 841. Nebius 732. Applied Materials 328%. Fubo down 82%. Bumble Minerals 75% and Monday.com down 75%. Couch Investor was near the bottom in our first video. 8th place. 5 months just wasn't enough time for his picks to work. 3 years, completely different story. A lot of positions that looked terrible in February turned around by September. 107% average per call across 2,850 signals is a very strong record. Oh, and if you want to stay up to date on which stocks are getting recommended by YouTubers and other sources that mainstream media does not follow, like Reddit, or X, Twitter, sentiment analysis, you can go to the first link in the description and subscribe for free to our newsletter. We will send you top stock pick recommendations from all these trusted sources, stock YouTubers, once a week. Number 1, Jose, 156 stocks, 1,963 buy calls. Average return per call, 144.8%. The most requested channel addition across both previous videos, and he would have topped the leaderboard every single time. Micron up 1,200%. Palantir up 724%, Air Test Systems up 671, ARM 606, Nebius 523, 5 picks above 500%, and obscure biotech down 93%, Monday.com 75%, Trade Desk down 66%. Jose covers semiconductors with a depth nobody else on this list can match. Most creators give you surface level takes on Nvidia or AMD, but Jose is analyzing semiconductor equipment companies. KLAC, Lam Research, Onto Innovation, Air, the picks and shovels of the picks and shovels. Over 3 years, that niche expertise produced a 144.8% average across nearly 2,000 buy calls. That sample size matters. This isn't 5 lucky stocks. It's 156 unique tickers across 3 years of market cycles, corrections, recoveries. Alright, before I give you the final verdict, I want to spend a minute on something that I think matters more than the ranking itself. These numbers can tell very different stories depending on how you interpret them, and I want to be honest about that. Take Jeremy. If you deduplicate his picks, meaning you count each stock once, he averages around plus 17%. If you average across all 1,556 buy calls like we did, he's at plus 51%. It's the same creator, same data, but very different number, of course. Why? Because he mentioned AMD 111 times. Every single one of those calls is a data point with a massive positive return. So his average gets pulled way up by one stock he kept recommending while it kept going up. Is that fair? I genuinely don't know. You can argue it both ways. On one hand, saying buy AMD 111 times while it goes from $170 to $580 is the skill. High conviction on the right stock consistently for 18 months. That should be rewarded. On the other hand, someone who mentioned AMD once in 2023 and never brought it up again made the same call. They just didn't make 100 videos about it. This is also why Couch Investors and Jose rank so high. They produce a ton of content, mention their top picks constantly, and those top picks happen to be in the best performing sector of the last 3 years. The volume amplifies the winners. It also amplifies the losers, by the way. But when your best pick is up 1,700%, the math overwhelms everything. And then there's the time problem. A call from July 2023 has had 3 years to compound. A call from last month has had weeks. We don't adjust for that. So creators who were early on the right stocks and mentioned them repeatedly get a double tailwind. None of this means the data is wrong. It just means one number can't capture the full picture. A creator with a 15% average might have incredible picks that just need more time. A creator with a 144% average might be benefiting from volume and timing more than pure stock selection. I'm telling you this because I think a lot of stock YouTube viewers treat rankings like this as gospel. They are not. They are one lens and you should use them alongside your own judgment. So the S&P returned around 70% over 3 years. 3 out of 10 stock YouTubers averaged better than that per call. Jose, Couch Investor, and ticker symbol U. All three were heavily concentrated in semiconductors and AI infrastructure. That means 7 out of 10 creators, some with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, some posting videos every day telling you what to buy, would have made you less than an index fund. That's kind of a brutal stat for the creators and for the viewers. But I don't think stock YouTube is useless. The two things that clearly worked over 3 years were deep sector expertise and early conviction. Jose lives and breathes semiconductors. Alex identified AI infrastructure before most of the market caught on. Their edge comes from specialization, not from being generically smart about stocks. And creators like Sven Carlin, who'll probably never top this leaderboard, generate ideas you literally cannot find anywhere else that has value, even if his average trails the index. We'll keep doing these, more channels next time. Tom Nash, Business with Brian, Zip Trader, Felix Prain, a bunch of others you've been requesting. The model keeps getting better, and if you're a stock YouTuber who wants to be included or thinks we got your data wrong, the spreadsheet is in the description. Reach out, we'll add you, and we'll fix whatever needs fixing. Here's my actual takeaway though. This data is something that you need to interpret for yourself. If you just want to buy the index and live your life, that's fine. If you want to watch these YouTubers and pick your favorite picks, that's fine too. Whatever's most fun to you. Subscribe for the next update and drop a comment telling me who you follow and how it's gone. See you in the next one.